guys, this is Kevin the Tech Ninja, and today we're taking a look at the Huawei P10. It's sort of this flagship phone that no one really talked about in 2017, so I thought I would take it for a spin and let you guys know what I thought about it. Now, instead of doing a full review for this device, we're going to switch things up a bit on this. As this phone has been out for a while, we'll just discuss things that you really need to know. The Honor P10 is made of metal. Its 5.1-inch 1080p IPS display has 432 ppi, which is pretty sharp for a phone at this size. It has a maximum brightness of 600 nits, which is brighter than most phones in its class. In my opinion, the screen is less than average and there's a slight blue tinge, and these things don't even look good when you adjust the colors in the settings to make it warm. Things just don't look accurate when using the phone. But on the flip side, it's one of the most visible phones in daylight due to its 600 nits of brightness. All the buttons on the device feels good. They're clicky, metal, and they have a great feel. The camera's on the back with the flash and the sensors. They're all in its expected place, and it looks good on the back too. It sort of has this strip on this edition is kind of white, and it just looks good to me. Up top, you have a notification light and also a speaker grill, USB-C port, and headphone jack at the bottom. You can pick this up in different colors. There's Mystic Silver, but you have the options for greenery, graphite black, ceramic white, prestige gold. The material is pretty good on fingerprints with the occasional wipe down every once in a while. But there is a special edition ceramic white, which I do not have. I've never seen it in person, but it is very bad with fingerprints as expected, so I hear. There's also a sensor home button pad thingy at the bottom, and this lets you access the super fast fingerprint scanner, but it also doubles as a home button. You can also set it up in the options to do a couple other things too, depending on the mode. Huawei has the fastest fingerprint scanner around, and the P10 continues that trend. Just tap on it and it lets you in. The phone does feel great in the hand. The design is downright pretty. I mean, yeah, it has a similar design to other phones, but it's a design that works, so definitely kudos to that. The P10 comes out of the box with Android 7.0, but it does have the Emotion UI, or EMIU as it's called. This is a software package, or skin if you will, on top of Android. Not a big fan of skins, but every version of MIUI gets better and better, and as more and more of stock Android starts to shine through, but it still does have that skin feeling. So I'm not sure if you're a fan of skins or not, but if you are a fan of skins, you would actually like this one. The skin is pretty light and it doesn't slow you down too much. Also has a ton of new tools built in. Nothing that changes the way you use your phone, but it's kind of nice to have a folder of just these tools in here. You have things like recorder, you have a clock, calculator, a backup, a mirror, and compass. But the one thing is, if you didn't like these tools, it's not really a way to remove them completely off the device. They're always going to take up some space. Now, if you want to switch things up with the skin, you can use their own theme store to download something different, or a third-party launcher like Nova. The latest version of Emotion UI is the most like Android, so as a result, I like it more so than the other versions. But please, 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 Huawei, give me a stock version of Android one day. The P10 does have a 3200 milliamp battery, and that's really good for this device. Since the screen is 1080p, the device is really small too, and the chip isn't really battery hungry. You end up with great battery life. Testing it by playing videos at full brightness over Wi-Fi, the phone finally died after 11.5 hours. But in a real world scenario, that's around 2 days of decent usage. Performance is pretty good. It's using the Kirin 970 SoC, and that's developed in-house, which is really nice. The Kirin has been around for a while, and it's been refined a lot. It's a fast chip. It doesn't suck on battery life neither. It's their best chip, and it should be pretty fast for a while. My Honor 8, that's almost a year old now, still runs like new. Also, they shoved in 4 gigabytes of RAM, so no problems in multitasking here. But there is definitely something that is a problem. It gets hot, and due to it getting pretty hot, it does throttle things down a bit. And when it starts to throttle, the performance gets very frustrating to use, and you have to wait a few minutes for it to cool back down. Not sure if this could be fixed with software updates, but this is something that is definitely an issue. The speaker on the bottom is good. It gets loud for a mono speaker, and it does not distort easily. So the P10 made a lot of fuss about the camera. So let's dive into it. So this camera is Leica co-engineered dual cameras, 20 megapixel monochrome, 12 megapixel color sensors on the back, and you have an f2.2 27mm focal length, and it has a 4-in-1 hybrid autofocus. The camera selfie around the front is 8 megapixel f1.9 with a 26mm lens, and it lets you do some simulated bokeh effects on selfies, which is actually kind of cool. The camera is good, but I definitely think it overprocesses some of the images for me. So when taking a picture of people, like example, my nieces and nephews, the camera, in my opinion, tries too hard to make the image look good. I think the images just look good as it is, but what happens is it does the extra layer of processing and it makes everything way too smooth. But when we take pictures of objects, cars, buildings, flowers, this camera is good. Everything pops, colors are vivid, it's sharp, really fast shutter, and it's just a really nice camera. Also, the monochrome is a really cool addition, giving you some nice artistic photos. It's not a black and white mode, but monochrome is actually on a whole different level. Now, I don't see myself using monochrome too much, but it is a really cool feature, and it is actually a dedicated lens just for monochrome. The bokeh mode is super cool, as you can see here. I had some lights in the back, and it makes the lights look like little light balls, a very common effect that you see in video. And as you can see, it works pretty well. The video mode kind of runs with the camera. Very good video mode, looks really nice. And the stabilization is pretty decent. You don't have the extreme stabilization that you see on some of the high-end phones, but I think it's pretty solid. Overall, this camera is good. It's not the best camera in the world, but compared to other devices, you're gonna see this camera be up there when you compare it to the likes of an HTC or even the LG G6 in some circumstances. So look guys, this phone isn't for America, so if you want to get it, you'll need to import it. But from our overseas subs, you can buy it unlocked, and the prices differ, but I'm seeing around 650 euro depending on location. Is this a good phone? Yeah. But for the price, I'd rather go with the OnePlus 3T or even wait a couple months for the OnePlus 5. Or even buy a used S7, I'm not sure. It's a good phone by itself, it stands alone pretty well, but once again, you compare it to other devices in the same price range, and then you're gonna realize its shortcomings. I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you liked the video, you know what to do, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
KTTN, say it again. Tell a friend that it's him again. Yo, real talk, opinions gon' be sharper than 4K. Scope Squad, eat it up, simmer it, saute. Ninja got reviews and brands galore. You ain't never seen a channel like this before. No hashtag.